When Monster Hunter Rise was first unveiled for Nintendo Switch, it was quite a surprise to see how the game was announced to be a console exclusive to Nintendo's platform, considering the fact that Monster Hunter World did so well across all platforms. Nevertheless, Rise was proven to be a huge success despite being a timed exclusive to the Switch with a PC release slated for early 2022. Now, I'm not a huge Monster Hunter fan myself. I've tried getting into the genre before with several Monster Hunter inspired games like Freedom Wars, Tukiden and Soul Sacrifice on the PlayStation Vita, but none of them managed to grab my attention for long before getting repetitive and stale. So when Rise was first announced, I was thinking if I should give the genre another go. I downloaded the demo from the Switch eShop and gave it a try. It was very basic and didn't give much of an insight of the game, but I did like the gameplay feel. After playing through the demo, I still wasn't sure if I should buy the game and would I get bored of it after a while. But I took the risk and pre-ordered Rise. After the game's initial release, I've put quite a decent amount of time into it, and I think I'm ready to share my thoughts about it. With that being said, I welcome you all to my review of Monster Hunter Rise on the Nintendo Switch. I hope you all will enjoy watching. Now, the Monster Hunter franchise isn't exactly known for having any deep stories, and it is no exception with Rise, but there is a basic story in the game that you get introduced to. You reside in a land known as the Kamura village, and it has been half a century since the last calamity struck the village. As you get introduced to the village leader called Fugen, he will congratulate you on your success of becoming a new enrolled hunter. But Fugen warns you that the village has been alerted about pending signs of the Rampage, a mysterious calamity that occurred 50 years ago where a horde of monsters attacked Kamura. Fugen tasked the player to prepare themselves for a possible Rampage attack. This is all what you've been waiting for, the gameplay. How does the gameplay feel? What kind of content is there? And is there a learning curve for a newcomer to the series? Well, as the name implies, you hunt monsters for materials so that you can craft new gear and be able to progress forward in the game. Rise has a lot of similarities to Monster Hunter World, and you will be meeting returning monsters in Monster Hunter Rise, but also new ones that are not present in World. The most important differences in this game compared to World is that you get introduced to a new game mechanic called the wire bug, which is essentially a grappling hook that you can use during battles with monsters to be able to dodge the attacks more efficiently, but also traverse faster in the missions. Another key feature in this game is that this time around you actually have buddies that help you in battles. The notable one being the Palamute, which is a dog that you can mount and ride. Palamutes are very useful as you can use them to hunt after monsters a lot faster and at the same time collect materials while being mounted. That pretty much briefly covers the main differences between World and Rise. Now let's get on with the gameplay feel. The gameplay is very fun, feels satisfying and heavy. You get to choose between 14 different weapons to get familiar with, and each of them have different combos and attacks that you want to master to be able to deal a lot of damage to the monsters you are hunting. But that is not all. You also want to make sure to frequently upgrade your weapon and armor so that you are prepared for whatever monster you are hunting. Every time you defeat a monster, you unlock a new set of equipment, both for you and your buddies, that is based on the monster's strength and weaknesses, which require materials in order to be able to craft it. It is not guaranteed that you will get everything that you need on your first fight, so expect to grind quite a lot to be able to obtain the materials you are looking for. Also make sure to sharpen your weapon quite a lot when not engaged in combat, as it is important to make sure to have a sharpened weapon, so that you can deal more damage. When you're fighting monsters, you have different ways of tackling them. You can either just fight them with your weapons or take advantage of the environment. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that you can take advantage is that you can lure the monster you're fighting to another monster in the same area, and they will start attacking each other, which can result in either of them getting temporarily paralyzed, and it will let you mount it. When mounted, you have the freedom to roam around the area for a period of time and deal massive damage to the opposing monster you're hunting. It is really cool and makes the battles a lot easier and fun. Aside from the main village quests, Rise has also so-called rampage missions where you defend Camera from a horde of monsters. You can set up different kind of defenses to make sure that the monsters do not get past the main gate. It's basically like a tower defense minigame. Rise will also receive future content updates with new monsters and armor without any cost, so the replay value in this game is huge. Speaking of content, I do have minor complaints about the DLC for Rise. Yes, I know that the game will receive free new monsters, but I'm a little bit put off by the amount of microtransactions this game has. For a $60 game, it's a bit ridiculous, but I guess it makes up for the free content that you will be getting from updates. So I guess it's not all that bad. Presentation wise, the game looks pretty good. It is running on a modified version of the RE engine and plays smoothly both docked but also in handheld. I have not noticed any frame rate drops that impacted my enjoyment of the game, so there's nothing to worry about when it comes to the performance. I think that Monster Hunter Rise is a great game and a good entry point for newcomers that want to get into the Monster Hunter franchise. The game has a lot of quality of life improvements compared to World and a lot of new content with free updates that will keep you coming back for more. If you are looking for a new experience or you just want to get into the Monster Hunter franchise but don't know where to start, I think that Monster Hunter Rise is a great game and definitely worth a look. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video review of Monster Hunter Rise on Switch. If you liked what you saw, feel free to stay tuned for my next reviews, which will be coming up shortly. I will see you all later.